What's going on, guys? Heat's on, it's cold. Oh, Dan here, DD's Beach Shop. Nomad time. So, today, gentle, we're gonna work on the back of this. So, we have to fix all this up, but you know what? That's, we'll do that later on, because, well, I want to do it later on. The tailgate itself, so obviously the liftgate at the top is bust, but we're going to fix that at some other time. The gate itself, it actually looks to be in really good shape. I don't see any real rust, and honestly, not a whole lot of dents, and it doesn't look like it's packed full of filler. Like, this is all down to kind of metal, which is nice, right? Shape looks good. Up in here looks pretty decent. Like, overall, pretty happy with it. Now, there's a couple things. It has a tear in it for some reason, which I was using to keep it closed with some brake line. The bottom of the inside of the gate, different story. So, I think I might just have to kind of start grinding, but obviously we have some holes in a few different spots, which is a little unfortunate. And then this whole section, I mean, a whole section actually. Well, maybe it's just here over. The tail, like the skin folds over and it's rotten in there. So I'm thinking I'll probably end up folding the skin, make a patch panel in there, fold the skin back, be done with it. And then this, I don't know what the right answer is. Because it'll be, oh, this is obviously where it's got holes like a piece of rubber. So obviously I had a piece of rubber in there, held water or something, and that's where all the rust came from. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little patches plus in here. I don't know what the best thing to do is. The other thing is, I don't think this tailgate's coming off easy. We might try, but I don't have high hopes, so I feel like we're just going to work on it on the car, which isn't the end of the world. I'll prop it up a little bit and have a nice little work. I mean, either work on it here or I pull out a table and work on it there. So I think we might just get started. Some of these big ones will be easy. Cut it out. So I think that's start, cut out, weld in, grind down, make it look nice. It doesn't have to look perfect. Probably should have something covering it. That, fold it back, weld it up, be done with it, and go from there. So another tedious task, and tailgates are expensive. Again, they're only on Nomads and Safaris. A new one's like well over $1,000 if you can find them, and that's American and all screwed around. It's just like the door. We made the door look not terrible. Maybe we do the same thing to this. I do have the chrome pieces, the knuckle buster. I have most of the stuff there, so yeah, it'll look all right. Doesn't look a little twisted. So we'll get the camera set up. We'll start kind of cutting, and I gotta strap this up somehow, some way. But we're smart. We'll figure it out. So I thought I'd just let the tailgate hang, and then I could sit on my little rolly chair because I'm out of shape, and it's way easier. See how this goes. So I'm going to clean up with the grinder, see how bad the rust gets. Doesn't look too bad up here. I will have to fold that over, but it's on the bottom. We'll grind this all up, see how terrible it is. We'll start making little patch panels. This is going to be a little tedious, but not hard. So there's patch number 1. I just kind of wung through it. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, good enough for the bottom of the tailgate, let's be honest. Now, the next thing I started beating on it, this tore right up. It was all rust. So, I think what I'm going to do is I want to tackle that, because that's going to be, I don't want to say fun, but the least boring part. So I think I got rust tube out there, so I'll probably go a little further. I think what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to cut the skin. So the outer skin goes all the way around and wraps down and it clamps itself, and that's what holds it on. It's not, it might be tack welded in a few spots, but I'm going to cut through that. I can always fix it on the other side, weld it up, or do whatever. But then when I fold it, I'm not messing with the rest, because if you start folding here, it's going to start pulling and all sorts of stuff like that. I shouldn't say that. I might try it. We'll see what happens. Anyways, once it's all folded up, out of the way, then that piece should basically crumble out. I'll be able to grind in there. I like to then cut right on this edge, and then I'll just weld a piece to it, clean that up. The other piece will go in, just a little angle, a little tiny L, put it in there, maybe give it a couple plug welds to hold it, fold it back over, hammer and dolly it, and then it'll be good as used. Status update. So this little piece we pulled out. So this was originally welded onto this little lip and then went upwards. Kind of fit in something along those lines, but it's just rotted. So I just kind of pried it up, a little ugly. It was actually broken here. Like, look at that split. So that's no bueno. Anyway, I'm going to try and fold the rest of this up. I think the rust stops there, so I'll probably just go a little bit past. And then, like I said, I'm going to cut it right on this edge. We'll lay our new piece on, put the 90 in it, or 90-ish, whatever it works out to kind of be. I'm sure it probably has some sort of a slope in it. We'll put it in there. It actually wasn't even welded in at all. This piece had 2 tacks holding it, or plugs, or whatever you want to call it. So if we bend this up, put it in there, weld it across, fold it in, and we got to do just a little section in there as well. But you can see there's going to be 1 plug weld there. So yeah, I'll get a piece of steel out, I'll get it bent up, and kind of test fit it, then we'll come back and we'll do all the action. Okay, we're on the Dan cam. Sorry, but hopefully it's aimed right. I always worry about that. Anywho, so this is the piece I made, which was a piece of flat steel, which I hammered on the corner of the workbench until it was like that. So we should be pretty daggone close here. So that's about what she's gonna look like, and it's got a piece to kind of hold it. So I think we'll do that. Maybe we'll give it a quick weld. Now this is obviously all out to lunch. That's what we like to do around here. So I'll give it a weld, then we'll grind it after. Well, that sounded bad. Grabbed. This one, just to kind of hold her in place. Oh, that worked out well. So now, when you do this, it's a bit of a pain. But you kind of, this is going to be irrelevant because it's all tore. But for the rest of it, there's actually a special body hammer for this, which I have, but it's in the toolbox. We'll call that close enough for now to kind of hold her in place. I guess I still need this. So that's where that wants to be. That's kind of wore out. Let's grab a pair of vice grips, clamp that all together, give the top a few fuzzes, then we'll grind that down, the patch panel, into where we're trying to get to. Got stuff friggin' everywhere. Oh, I'm caught. What do you want to do here? You know what? We don't need this piece. Wasted space. Okay, this a little. One of those. See? It's all coming together. Okay, well, wow, Dan cam and muffs. Look at this. So I'm going to grind this down. Hope the hat don't fall off. We'll see what it looks like. Okay, so we got her kind of close. Now, a little wavy. How are we gonna do this? This here may need a little patch. It was pretty rotten down in there, but this we can all fill in. And then this is probably okay to take off. Huh. Sure looks ugly, but not bad. Flatten her out. So I will take the hat off, put the welding helmet on. I'll get this burned in. I might leave that because that'll probably need a little patch as we start grinding. See these little things. Those are the original holes for where that weather strip would have gone, I guess. But the rest of it we can get welded in, get that around. We can hold that together, weld that, knock it into place, dolly it, and just put a couple of little tacks. So we'll maybe I'll set the lapse camera. We'll get that done. So that's the finished-ish product. Those two holes that were there, I actually just welded them. They took no problem, so they weren't that bad, obviously. Got a little bit of love to do in a few spots. I got to hammer and dolly this a little bit better. It's awkward to get the dolly behind there. I'll have to get Danny to hold it or something like that while I smack it. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I think what I'm going to do tonight, this is the last thing. I want to fold this back and see what it looks like. Well, it looks like this was air chiseled out. So if I just clean up around there, and I clean up around that edge, when I fold it in, I can just burn it right in and grind her smooth-ish. I mean, I might need a couple of passes of weld, but for now we'll just give it one because ultimately, again, there's supposed to be a piece on top. And I mean, down here we can use a little bit of body filler. Probably wouldn't hurt if you even are going to notice. Just like this is the bottom of the tailgate. Maybe I'm overdoing it. And then tomorrow we got 1, 2, 3. I don't know. We got a few things to deal with tomorrow, but it's not bad. A little wire wheel to make it look nice and clean. Give it some sort of a paint treatment. Oh, ask me in the comments if I was using weld through primer. I love that one too. So we'll set up the time lapse. We'll finish this up, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Next day. So yeah, where we left it, I burned this all together. She was a little gappy, but we'll hammer it out, grind her down, it'll be good enough. We're gonna get in here, these two spots. Some of these I might just try and kind of plug up with a little bit of weld. Because actually, even though it was rotten out, it took a fair bit of heat. So I think when I got it set up on the chair like that, I'll probably set you guys up over there looking back at it. And I can just kind of lean over and work a little bit here and use this as a bit of a workbench for all my steel. That's the plan. So we should get that knocked out in the next hour or so. And then we'll finish up by, I don't know, trying to straighten that out. I'm no body man, but I got a hammer. So pile screw around later. It's all patched up pretty good. There's a couple of areas that are kind of soft and whatnot, but you know what? Considering it's on the bottom of the deck lid and what this car is going to be, it's good enough now. I'm going to wire wheel it real quick. I'm going to fire on some of this rust converter stuff. It's got a bunch of kind of flaky rust, so I'll get all that off, hose it down, and then you know, I'll probably just put a skim coat of filler or something like that on it. Not that it even has to be perfectly straight. I'm not too obsessed with that. Just so it looks nice and something, you know, paint kind of sticks to it. I still got a same thing like in here. Like, what are you gonna do? I mean, how nice are we gonna make it? It's a driver, so we'll. Oh, I still gotta fix this. Man, every time I look somewhere, it's just more and more. We'll get this wire wheeled and prep with some of that rust converter, and then let that dry. Me a little lunch, flip her up, and we'll finish up the tail pan. Okay, so, yeah, I don't really know where to start here. I believe, based on what we got on this side, looks like the tail pan just kind of goes straight down, and then it curves out, and based on where there's kind of a bit of a paint line, I assume the bumper is going to hide that much, so probably there to there is all that really matters. Now it's kind of stoved in here. I don't know how we're gonna be able to do. So I've got a hammer, I've got a dolly, I've got a pair of vice grips. I don't know, we'll see if we can kind of fold her back, straighten her out, and then maybe I'll have to use that puller to try and pull it back. I guess we'll see. But I'll just start playing around, see where we end up. It's straightened out such as it is. This part here is really folded over and it's got a big wow in it. So I think what I'm going to do though, when I try pulling on these, the whole thing's so flimsy, she ain't moving. So I've got her kind of lined up here. I think I might just weld back to the car to give it a little bit more strength. And when you're hitting with the hammer, I should be able to kind of pull it out. So this has to go in here, out there, and this has got all sorts of folds on it. Now I don't quite know the proper shape. I assume it's probably like this, flat with this curve, and again you can see where the paint's wore out and kind of nice. So the bumper, you can see where the bumper's riding into it right there. The bumper's going to cover there down. And I'm not trying to fool anybody there. It's going to be a little rough on the bottom. But this one whammo right there, you got to pull that out. Behind there looks okay. And here, same thing. I'll use a little bit of love, but realistically, I think we can flatten that out good enough. On Tri-5s, this here, they had like a piece of rubber that would be sandwiched in there and hang down for some reason. So I don't know. I never put that on. So see if I can get this pulled out. This is the kind of goofy yet, but yeah, keep working at it. I'm winging it. By no dent, paintless dent, man. That's for sure. But it's better than it did. So, we're making progress. I got it kind of mostly hammered out straight-ish. Again, that's the line I keep talking about. When I was on tripod, I don't know if you can see it or not. But that's where the bumper's going to be. So just pretend that doesn't even exist. And it looks okay. This is all torn up and stuff. So we'll weld that in. Same on this side. I got to get on that yet, but the camera has to charge a little bit. So I'll probably just finish this up, give it a nice little grind, and we'll bring it back, and we'll have the finished product. I mean, I don't know. I probably should have bought this panel, but at the end of the day I didn't, and forgot about it. And now here we are. It wasn't rusty, it just needed a little bit of love. And I think now, coat of filler, should be good. Lots of hammer dolly yet, but we'll get on it. So I motored ahead, and what I decided to do, which is not factory, but I decided to weld the tail panel into the quarters, which is supposed to have a seam and they're butted up on the backside, but all the metal is tore away and everything. And, you know, again, you're only going to see a few inches of it. That's what I decided to do. I tried straightening out this as much as I could, so it probably looks all goofy, which it is, but factory looks like it goes wide, and then it gets skinny. And I don't know if it would have a little bump there or not, probably not. And then it kind of curves back out. So, it is what it is. I know on my 55, on my two-door post, that was beat to rat shit. And I don't even know what I did there. I know I didn't fix it. And I put the bumper on it, and I totally forgot about it. There was body filler and all sorts of stuff on it. I just primered that car and lost interest. So, there you have it. I don't know, I think it looks, step back from it, looks okay. Probably should have just bought a panel for it at this point. You know, I saw pictures of the car and all that sort of stuff. I kind of kept putting it off. It was all beat up, but it wasn't rotten. I was like, oh, I'll just straighten it out, but it was pretty beat, and I'm sure that was not an expensive panel to cheap out on. I mean, it's probably like $100 or $200. I don't know if it's Nomad specific or if it's wagon. Either way, it is what it is. It's fixed up enough. I think a little bit of body filler on there will straighten it out. I mean, based on the fact that it kind of has a crown to it a little bit anyways, it is what it is. I could have done better, should have done better, but that's what we're living with, and I'm moving on to the next thing. So, I don't know what I'm going to do next. Josh has, since he gave me the exhaust and I thought he wanted the mufflers and all that back, but he said I can have it all. So I need to shorten up the headers, because as you can see it hangs down too low. So it's down probably 2 or 3 inches. I think what I'm going to do is probably chop it at the muffler and run some new 3-inch pipe back and an exit. But I do have to chop the header and lift that up. So that'll be a video coming up. I also just yesterday got a set of shackles. So this is probably going to be the next video. I got these shackles, and I actually got some lowering blocks because the leaf springs I have that were in really good shape are off that sedan delivery, which were like 6 leaf. Like, they're kind of heavy duty. I think this one's probably 4 or 5 was standard. So I think it'll lift it up. So I want it to lower it anyways. I'm hoping I'll find a happy medium. Those springs do have to be taken apart, new bushing stabbed in them, and what else? Oh, there's some funny stuff from a 55 to a 56 and 7 with the shackles. They're unique. We'll go over that as well in the next video. I didn't know that until I had to buy some. And as you can see, this is for 56 and 7. And I had all 55 stuff that I was going to reuse. Well, it's the 56 chassis, so nothing's going to work out. But that's exciting stuff, I know. For the next video, or a next video, and we'll get after it. But that's it for me tonight. Thanks for watching. Comment below all those good things, and yeah, enjoy your day, evening, whatever it is. I'll see you in the next video.